See, I was trying to remember. I knew it wasn't just once. I could only find one video, but I create a video every time. I just couldn't, I don't remember what I titled the other ones. But I remembered the Foo-Foo Dog one, and I actually didn't even remember that one, if we want to be honest. It's when I've been going through my videos. I told you, this video, I cared enough to bring the Foo-Foo Dog home, was at nearly 100 views. So I go to views, I try to check to see if they've reached 100, if they're getting close, and I found that one. Okay, but there are others. There are others. And it was 3 times that I experienced. The first time, I didn't get to meet the woman because her male caregiver just happened to be coming there right when I was getting ready to bring the dog back, okay, when it was following me and Omar, okay? The second time was the one I let the woman have it, but nicely. I'm like, I care enough to be telling you this. You just moved in. You don't understand. You're taking the chance. And then that's when she explained, my caregiver was, that's what made me so, that makes me so sick. I know, my caregiver was off today, so I had to let my dog out the front. Okay. But now I've learned, and then, can you imagine how furious I was? Maybe weeks had gone by, and I see her able-bodied caregiver at the time, a different one, not the guy, letting the dog out without a leash. It's like, what happened to you making the excuse, you're in a wheelchair, there's nothing you could do, and you need to let him out to go to the bathroom, but acting like, I'm thinking, okay, so maybe we can take this, change this situation somehow, talk to your children, whatever, you're in a rock and a hard place, have them see about putting up a runner for the little dog that you can do when nobody's around, as being in your wheelchair. But no, since then I have repeatedly, it's just it hasn't affected me because the dog didn't run into the yard, seeing people standing in that doorway, not that woman, okay, mind you, her able-bodied children or able-bodied caregiver standing in the doorway calling to the little dog and hoping he comes in. And I was disgusted, but there was a time that I was going to send a letter and then my life fell apart and I never bothered, okay? I did yell at that woman that time. She doesn't care. I think she gives a fuck. Not the woman, the caregiver. Okay? I think she was black, African American. Maybe she was, I don't know, based on her clothing. It doesn't really matter. The fact is that, actually she might have have an accent or whatever. The fact is, I did take the time. I was heading somewhere without Omar, but I took the time to say something quickly to her. She doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care. But it's the woman's responsibility, if you love your dog, to know whether your caregivers are being lazy. She knows it's happening and doesn't care. Basically, I thought she cared more about her dog than she apparently did. She was humoring me, but in the end, she allows even her children and caregivers to continue letting that dog out front and hoping that when they call him, he'll come back. Most of the time, it's not a problem. Just like most of the time when you drive drunk, it's not a problem. It's only if something happens and you don't have that split-second reaction time that you wind up maiming or killing people as a drunk driver. That's the whole thing. That's why there are people who could drive drunk for their whole lives. You could be driving drunk periodically for 20 years, okay? And then suddenly you are in the wrong situation at the wrong time and you need split-second reflexes and you don't have them because you are impaired, and that's it. Now you've killed somebody. Now you've seriously, permanently paralyzed somebody or something, okay? Well, it's a matter of time. It might never happen. It's called Russian roulette for a reason. And there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse to not put that little dog, for these caregivers who are being paid by the state or paid by that woman or whatever, I don't know the situation, to put that little dog on a leash and let him out to do his business in the yard a couple times a day. He's a little tiny thing. He's a papillon or whatever. He's a little thing. There's no excuse but sheer laziness. So yeah, if you're going to risk your dog's life after giving me the sob story, well, there's nothing that I can do. I have to let him out, and what can I do? He doesn't come when he usually will come when she's giving me excuses. But what are the excuses for your able-bodied children and caregivers to not put him on a leash except for laziness? There's no other excuse, people. It's sheer fucking laziness. And I wish I had left for the walk earlier that day, because then I would have been right in the middle of it and I would have had my say, rather than with strangers or with people that knew me that I don't even remember, because I just was venting to anybody I met. Okay, there's a lot more people. And think about the Russian roulette. the Russian roulette, the chances increase the warmer weather. More people are going to be walking by that house with their dogs. You understand? So there's more of a chance than ever, and you're still going to be doing it. You're still going to and it's not her, it's her caregivers, are still, or caregiver at the time, because there's turnover, obviously. You know, it's sickening. It's sickening. It makes me puke. Because before she ever moved in, my mom and I and Omar met her son, and he was saying how he was looking for someone, that his mom is in a wheelchair, and he was looking for someone just to walk that dog, to pay them. Have I ever seen that dog walked once? No. Apparently it turned out she needed more help than he had thought, and she had to have a live-in caregiver all the time, and all of them have been too fucking lazy to walk the dog even in the fucking yard, and I want to just puke. I just want to puke.